Sup Nerds, Free 99 here, back at it again at Route 14 of Pokepath TD. As you can see, we have been stuck at Wave 69, nice. And this is the new strat that I've come up with. It's pretty much the same thing. I've mostly moved everybody around. Halucha is still here to cause double damage to armor units. We've got Aegislash who slows in an area. Swalot right behind it to deal some poison damage. Clefable with its humongous range smack dab in the middle. Hopefully it can take out high health targets. That is what we have set them up for. As you may have remembered from last time, it was the Miltanks and the Haxoruses that were being a problem to us. We've still got the Whimsicott who is able to shoot two projectiles, and each projectile has a 5% chance to restore one heart. That has the combo potential with our Salsa Verde, who has the heart scale, so the 1.5 attack speed goes to 0.75 at over 500 damage per attack. That should deal quite a bit of damage to the enemy. We've got Bramble. We basically are investing all into slow because Miltanks cannot be paralyzed. We've got Big Dog dealing high damage as well as some splash damage to the enemy. And then Totem Pole and Eagle Eye standing in the mountains to do as much as they can with all the range that they have. Hopefully with all the slows and the poison from the Swalot, the Haxoruses and the Miltanks go down. Let's find out. We've got a Ditto Wave right at wave 51. Fortunately for us, we don't really care for anything. Togedemaru's are resistant to poison, but they die easy enough. It's the, I guess the 10,000 plus health Pokemons that we have an issue with. We've made it! Wave 70! Okay, 5 more until we get a checkpoint, which is great for us. It's an invisible wave. We do have 60 Maniena coming down. Are we scared enough that they're gonna cause an issue? I don't think so. We did manage to beat the, I think it was like 16 or something that were just Mightyena. Although, I'm a bit skeptical, but you know what? We've come this far, why not keep going? We finally hit another invisible wave. So far, so good. We made it to wave 91 without any issues. I'm not entirely sure if the Miltanks and Trevenants are getting more and more stats. Or not Trevenants, the Haxorus, because there have been a few times where they have passed through our defenses. I think it's also whether or not Whimsicott here is able to heal us and trigger the Maractus's attack speed buff. But, I mean, wave 91, we've basically got full health, plus we can just go back to wave 75 if we lose. So that's a good thing. I mean, everything's working fine so far. I see no reason to change anything. So I guess we'll just keep going and maybe take note of where we die. One more invisible wave. We have made it to wave 96, so 3 more waves to go. Nothing here is really that scary. The Mighty Hyenas die before they make it past 12 Haxoruses at about, what, 5,000 health plus armor? 50,000, my bad. 50,000 or so health and armor is a bit scary. Hopefully we can take them out, and the Dittos are really not that threatening. Okay, we need more damage. We need to somehow squeeze out more damage on this team. How can we do that without relying on level ups? Because as you can see, everybody's already level 100. I mean, we're okay until 97. And there is a pause before then, so we could just hit auto and then think about it until then. So here we are at 91. I believe there is another invisible wave at 95. So we can just hit auto here. Or we could use this as a training ground to see what would happen if we change our strat. I do like that idea. And I have thought of something. Whether or not it will work, I have no idea. But if we do something like, what was it? Swalot, Aegislash. Those two need to go. So if we remove you, and then we remove Swalot. Where is Swalot? Over there. Remove Swalot. And then we could try Burn Strat. We have yet to test this out, but if we go Volcarona, and then we go, where is Torkoal? Because I believe they are also AoE. LMN, OP, QR, S. Oh, they're right beside each other. All right. And then we could do something like 285 is too much. I think you get the Quick Claw. Or, yeah, no, you get the Quick Claw. 143 is still pretty high. Also, Bramble lost their item, which means Bramble now gets the Carbos. It puts them under 2 seconds, which isn't bad. And then Torkoal has their own unique item, which is the Heat Rock. Oh, but Torkoal... Wait, no, Torkoal's not 100. One moment. There we go. Torkoal is now 100. 280 attack speed is pretty high, unfortunately. Is there something better that we could do? Damage? No. No, there isn't. Which is unfortunate. I mean, they are AoE. Oh, we need to put that back. They are AoE. So maybe that accounts for something. 280 and then 285. They're really not that far from each other, so maybe we don't need the claw on you. Maybe you need to get the Carbos. Let's give you the Carbos for now and put the Quick Claw back on Bramble. Torkoal goes first because the burn needs to happen in order for Volcarona to ignite it. We'll save this on 2 and then just hope for the best, I guess. Okay, burn strat is not the strategy here. It is not burn strat. We go back to this. How can we deal more damage? What if... What if we guarantee the double stack on Toxic Orb instead? And just keep the recharge high? Is that a thing? We could try this, see what happens. There aren't really... If we go with the heal, there aren't really much to choose from. Breloom, we have the money for it. There's them at level 100 at 155. And then Meganium at level 100 is 1.7. Which means Whimsicott is the fastest. And we need that speed. We don't need the damage, we need the speed so that it can shoot out more projectiles, which means we have a better chance to proc the heal. So I don't think Breloom nor Meganium is the answer here. 140 range isn't bad. It's the same as Whimsicott, though. Yeah, I don't think it's them. I don't think it's the heal. They're already in a good spot to trigger it before they get to Maractus. Maybe it's Big Dog? Because it's definitely not Space. Space is now hitting for whatever 455 plus 1,000 is. Basically less than 1,500. Very close to it. And their range has gone up to 240. A few more and they can actually start hitting over here on the right side. I don't think it's Bramble either. I doubt that it's Bramble. Because of its slow, the poison from Swalot ticks more. We could try changing in El Toro Fuerte onto what though? Mankey attacks too fast. We could try higher DPS in Machamp. We haven't used Beefcake in a while. Problem is, they would probably get like one attack on each of the Haxorus, and then that's it. Whereas El Toro Fuerte gets like one attack and a bit on the last one leaving, just because of its area. Like it gets to attack once as they come through this part, and then pick off some on this second part, which isn't bad. Like I love the area on El Toro Fuerte. Big Dog does AoE, and it's pretty respectable damage at like almost 700, like 675 plus. It attacks fast enough. Can we do like over 600? What if it's more poison? As stupid as it sounds, what if it's just more poison? What if we, okay, stupid idea here. But we gotta try something, because this obviously doesn't work. Where is Lucario? Add in Arbok. I believe Arbok has the highest, yeah, 130, 110, 140 with Swalot, and then 140 with Wheezing. 860 damage versus 740. 30% crit chance, though. 4% crit chance. I don't think we care about crit chance. Less than a second attack speed. Whereas Arbok would probably end up with the Poison Barb. So, over 1 second attack speed. Let's try, because we're trying to bank it on the poison. Let's try Wheezing up here. And then we could get you to target, like, high HP. You're already targeting that, so that's fine. Maybe this is it? So unfortunately, the Lucario is what keeps those Mightyenas and a few other Pokemon in check that don't really synergize well with the slow poison strat. That's why we have lost so much health. But also, I can't really tell if it's better or worse than what we had before. So I'm gonna guess that because we have more lost health, this is a worse strat. But let's just keep going and see what happens. So here we are at the final checkpoint. I kind of want to save this as 2. Go back to 1 and just hit next wave. I'm scared of the Mightyenas passing through, to be honest. Because we don't have the Lucario as a check for them. And then on wave 97, with the Miltank and Haxorus, we'll go back to the poison strat. Oh, we didn't have enough. Okay. We're gonna try this again. We know that the Lucario strat can get us at least until 95. So we're just gonna hit auto and ride it out until then. All right, Wave 91, back at it again. For a bit of extra luck, I think we're going to be nicknaming Swalot and Whimsicott here. They have been pulling their weight on the team. For Swalot, I'm thinking Ivan. Shout out to all my Power Ranger fans out there. And then for Whimsicott, I'm not sure if this will fit, but I was thinking White Mage does fit. Perfect. We've got White Mage and Ivan now on the team. Ivan Ooze, obviously, for those of you who didn't... Well, I guess not obvious for those of you who didn't grow up watching, like, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But yes, Ivan Ooze and White Mage, welcome to your nickname, I guess. We should be able to finish these ones off fairly quickly. So this should be the last easy wave for us to do. Then 96, we swap to Poison Strats. Alright, my mistake. This is the last easy one for us to do. Then we switch to Poison Strat. Unfortunately for us, Whimsicott didn't trigger there until near the end, which meant we lost quite a bit of health. It is a % chance, so, you know, we're always reliant on RNG. Hopefully RNG is with us on this wave, though. It's only 20 monsters, so we should be able to take care of this. The extra poison was able to take out the Miltanks, but not the Haxorus. So I think this is still viable. We just need to change something else, and I think I know what it is. What if we remove El Toro Fuerte, Odd, and Machamp, because they hurt a lot more, put them here, and then we give them the... What do we give you? Cooldown? Do we give you a bit of cooldown? Like a Carbos? I don't think we're stealing this off of anybody. That might not be enough. Is anybody holding... Nobody is holding the Badge of Honor. Plus 500, so you're like at 2,000... Over 2,000 damage? Over 4,000 damage? Close to 5,000 damage per hit? You'll only probably hit them once is the problem. If we give you the Adrenaline Orb, it doesn't cool you down that much. I'm gonna try Beefcake. Wait, where did I get 5,000? Oh yeah. 1,800 plus 500 is 2,300. And then it gets doubled for the armor break. So 4,600. With a chance to deal 1.5 times on top of that. I'm gonna try this. We're gonna save this as number 2. And then we're gonna go back to our regular strat and try to grind back up to 95. Alright, we've got half health to do this with. Hopefully none of them pass, so we don't have to worry about how low we have. Best of luck. This is the last chance we have to do this on this video, so hopefully we pass. Nope, too many of them pass by, too many of them pass by. They can be CC'd like crazy. So maybe we have to put in like a stun somewhere in here. But yeah, like I said, that was the last chance that we had in this video. It's gone on for long enough. We're gonna go back to this on the next episode. Until then, I've been Free99. You've all been amazing. I'll catch you next time.